Hey, James, we have 1 minute.
Okay. Let's hope we get some participants.
Mm-hmm. We do. Okay, James, it's 10 o'clock.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'd like to welcome you on behalf of the DeSoto City Council and the City of DeSoto to our kickoff and informational session for our Transportation Assistance Program. Today's format will be that first we'll cover the program requirements and the application process, and then we'll offer an opportunity for any questions that you might have regarding today's presentation. So if we could get the presentation up on the screen, we'll get started. I would ask that if you would hold your questions to the end, and we'll do our very best to answer those questions. This is our 2020-2021 program year. Our program year officially starts October 1st of 2020, and it runs through September 30th. However, the Transportation Assistance Program will be formally initiated in terms of program participants November 1st this year. Next slide. The Transportation Assistance Program is funded by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development through a community development block grant that the City of DeSoto receives. The program is designed to provide monthly subsidies or fare cards to qualified applicants to pay for transportation with our provider, a local taxi company, Yellow Cab. The program pays up to $100 monthly for participants in the transportation program, and it allows participants to travel to essential services such as doctor's offices, pharmacy, grocery stores, hospital, and other locations. Next slide. I think we may have skipped a slide there.
See, that's 1.
2. Travel must originate or terminate in the City of DeSoto, and your travel is also limited to locations within the City of DeSoto and Dallas County. Now, what that means is that you can originate your travel in DeSoto and end your travel in either DeSoto or Dallas or Ellis County. But in order for the trip to be a valid trip that's covered under your transportation participation, it must either originate or terminate in the City of Dallas, City of DeSoto. Participation is limited to DeSoto residents only. Eligible applicants must be low and moderate income individuals, elderly persons 65 years and older, or persons with disabilities. Eligible participation is income restricted to our HUD guidelines for low and moderate income persons. And currently that includes a stipulation that your income, total household income, cannot exceed $46,500 in total income. Next slide. Again, go back, Kimberly, if you will, just one slide. Separate applications must be submitted for each participant, even if you reside in the same home. That's very important in that this simply means that both husband and wife, or parent and child, if they're a part of the same household, can qualify for their own separate allocation, but you must submit a separate allocation in order to both or multiple persons to be eligible for the $100 per month. Applicants must submit documentation of their residency in the city of DeSoto and must meet all of the program guidelines. And most importantly, you have to submit all of the documentation that's listed in the application packet. All applicants must complete and submit the transportation application packet, provide that to the city of DeSoto as instructed. And we would note that those packets are available both at our City Hall location as well as available here on the internet. Hard copies of the transportation application packet, all your certification forms, and all of the requirements for documentation are available at the City of DeSoto City Hall. When you enter City Hall, you would go to the Action Center desk, and the street location is 211 East Pleasant Run Road in DeSoto, Texas. That location will be accepting applications between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Beginning on Friday morning at 8 a.m. If you should have any questions in the meantime, you may also contact the Action Center hotline at 972-274-2489. Next slide. Application packets will be available both online and at City Hall starting this morning at 8:00 a.m. And then we will accept applications starting Friday, October 30th, starting at 8 a.m. And you may either drop those off at the Action Center desk. You can provide them by mail at the City Hall address as well. Applications will be processed for completed applications only. Again, I want to emphasize that both each form in the application packet must be completed in its entirety, and you must submit all of the required attachments in order for your application to be considered complete. We'll ask that you only submit copies of original documents, things like driver's license, social security card, lease agreements, and the other documents that are required. Please provide copies and maintain your originals. Next slide. I'd like to just briefly show you what you'll see in the application itself, so to help you familiarize yourself with the application. You want to make sure that the application packet will look as you see on the screen, where it will show the DeSoto Transportation Assistance Program for year 2020. Next page. There's a list of documents that are included in the application packet. And again, I emphasize that you very carefully review each of those and make sure you're completing each required attachment. Next. Everyone must complete the Citizenship Declaration. The declaration requires that you enter your name, both first and last name. If you are the head of household, you just simply, in terms of relationship to the head of household, you would put head. If not, you would indicate that you're the spouse or whatever your affiliation with the head of the household is. And then you would enter the remaining information that's listed on the form. If you have a social security number, then you won't have to fill out the alien registration number. And also, all of the information must be completed in its entirety. At the bottom of this page, there is a declaration in which you have to declare that I, and you would print your name, hereby declare that the information that you provided is accurate, and that you will have to indicate that you are in fact a citizen of the United States, sign and date that form. Next slide, please. The Transportation Assistance Program also requires additional verification. So make sure that each of these lettered identification or verification information is provided. And all of those forms are included in your information packet. Next slide. The next form is designed for you to complete should there be any delay in your ability to complete the documentation. Keep in mind that even if you should, for any reason, have to request an extension providing information, you still are not considered a complete application until all of that information is provided. So therefore, please note that until all information that is required is actually submitted, you're not yet eligible for consideration of a slot in the Transportation Assistance Program. Next. The CDBG eligibility certification form is very important. Please ensure that you list both your name, the phone number, the date of the application, address, and zip code. You'll be asked to indicate whether or not you are a male or a female as head of the household, and then the other information regarding race and ethnicity and relationship will have to be completed. In terms of the income verification data in the middle of the page, you only need to provide the information relative to the applicant's income. So if you are the household member, please indicate the income information for you and anyone else in your household. So therefore, for those of you who perhaps might be husband and wife, you'll each be completing this form, but you'll also be listing the total household income for each member. So under that household member, you might have head of household, that person's name, and you may have a spouse name, and each of you might have both a source of income and your gross monthly income. Household income is considered for eligibility, so that total 46,500 is the limitation for total household income. Next page, please. Please ensure that you sign each of the forms, and again, the signature is required for the applicant. In the event that you are not receiving income for the household or as an individual participating, you will have to complete the CDBG eligibility certification form to show that that you either have no income or you have no proof of that income. Again, please ensure that you provide as much information that you have. If the information is deemed inadequate, you will be contacted to provide additional information. Again, applicants must sign each of the forms in the information packet. Next slide. Then in this page, you'll see the income determination worksheet. For this particular form, the only thing that we would ask you to complete are the individual amounts to the right, whether it be your wage rate or your hourly salary amount, and then the total annual wages, which would be that you receive from either Social Security or SSI, pension, unemployment, and the other factors. When we evaluate your application, we will tally the incomes that you indicate and make the determination as to whether or not you're eligible for the program based on income. Also keep in mind that each of the incomes that you list, you must provide the required documentation to support that income. Student income, as you'll see, there are some income exclusions. So you will still need to list that information, but just please note that there are some exclusions, meaning those incomes that are under the income exclusions will not be counted towards your eligibility. Next slide, please. I'd like to bring your attention to the Transportation Assistance Program checklist. This is very important, and this is for your help in completing the packet. Once you've completed each of the individual forms, we would like and ask that you would go through the checklist to make sure that you are including with your application all the applicable information that will be necessary in order for your application to be reviewed. So please note that the application form needs to be completed and enclosed in your packet. The release of information, your declaration of citizenship, the documentation of all income, a copy of your state issued ID or driver's license. A passport is also acceptable. We need at least one current utility bill to demonstrate your eligibility for the program as a DeSoto resident. So that can be either your water, gas, or electric utility bill, and it must be in your name with the address to demonstrate that you are in fact receiving those utilities in the city of DeSoto. We need a copy of the Social Security card. You can feel free to black out all but the last 4 digits so that if you'd like to keep that information private, you may do so. And then finally, we would ask that if you are a renter, in order to establish your residency, either through either a rental lease or an agreement with a shelter, you must have information that would show and demonstrate that you either have a lease agreement or an agreement, a written statement of your affiliation with a shelter in order to be eligible for the program. Next page. Then finally, you'll see a copy of a final checklist. This form does not have to be completed for submission of the packet, but you should familiarize yourself with this particular form because if approved, you will be given a final copy upon approval of this particular form, and you'll be asked to complete it. This form will again certify your understanding of the program and your agreement to participate with the rules and regulations of this program. Again, this form will be completed upon approval for the program, but we wanted you to have access to that form in order to understand what you will actually be certifying and agreeing to should you be approved for the program. I'd like to introduce Kimberly Gardino. And Kimberly, if you would just highlight the process and how one applies and so forth.
All right. Thank you, James. Yes, my name is Kimberly Garduno, and I am the assistant to the city manager here at the city of DeSoto. Thank you for taking the time to join us for this virtual workshop. I know we are doing things a little bit different, and we are having this webinar online in order to protect not only city staff, but our residents during this pandemic. As James stated, we have applications that are still available at City Hall in the city's Action Center that you can pick up. The applications are also available online for download in case you need extras. You can go to the City of DeSoto website, and at the top, there is a section called Community. And under that, there is a separate section called Transportation. And that is where the new 2020-2021 application packet is available for download. And also, as James stated, we will be accepting applications in person this Friday beginning at 8 a.m. I will be there in the Action Center. Also, because of COVID, we want to get you in and out very quickly. So we will not be reviewing applications on site. When you come in, we will accept your application, and we will have a sign-in sheet, and there will be a number based on when you turn in the application. So on Friday, we want to get you in and out very quickly. We will just accept your application, and James and Robert and myself will review the applications after that. And if we have any other questions about your applications or need to follow up with you, we will certainly contact you. But I just want to reiterate, Friday, we just want you to come in, drop it off. We'll have you sign in next to the number in which you are dropping off the application, and we will review your application in that order. Should you have any questions after this webinar, please feel free to contact our transportation line. That number is 972-230-7350, and I will repeat that, 972-230-7350. All right, James, turn it over to you. Do you want to open it up for a Q&A?
Yes. At this time, we will ask if you have any questions. We will unmute the mics in the event that there are any questions. Also, Robert Joyner, who's joining us, will also be taking any questions that you should enter in the chat section. So at this time, are there any questions?
James, it looks like Miss Yolanda Kaiser has her hand raised up. Miss Kaiser, I will unmute you right now. Miss Kaiser, if you could unmute.
Hello,
Okay.
and welcome, Miss Kaiser.
Hello. I'm trying to print out the application, but is it 2000? I have 2018 to 2019. Is that correct? Can I print that?
No,
Oh
ma'am.
no. Okay, so where would I go to print the application out?
The new application is available if you go to the city website. You
Mm-hmm.
go under community. There's a tab called community and transportation, and that will take you to the transportation page, and you will see 2020-21 TAP packet. That is the one you will want to print.
Tab packet. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Would you walk them through that one more time, Kimberly?
Absolutely, yes. So you want to go to the City of DeSoto website.
Okay.
At the very top, you will see a tab called Community. Click that, and then you should see a section to the right that says Transportation. Click on Transportation. It will take you to our transportation website, and the new 2020-21 TAP packet that was uploaded this morning, and that is the one you want to click. The old, if you printed out previously the old packet, we cannot accept that. It will have to be the 2020-2021 packet that was loaded this morning.
Transportation. Okay, I got it. I got it.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Very good.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're so welcome, Ms. Kaiser. Do you have any other questions?
No, I do not. Thank you. That was so helpful.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Do we have any additional questions? Kimberly, if you would you also make the announcement in terms of availability of this presentation on Facebook?
Absolutely. Thank you, James, for reminding me. So we were hoping to cast this on Facebook Live, but we've had some unfortunate technological issues. We will post the recording of this webinar on Facebook later this afternoon. We know that many of you have family members or friends that unfortunately weren't able to join in and view this webinar. So we just want to let everyone know we will be posting a recording of this webinar later on today on the city's Facebook page. That's DeSoto City Hall. Should you also have any questions about the recording, feel free once again to contact our transportation line, but this recording will be posted later on this afternoon to Facebook.
Just a couple of closing remarks. I would like to remind you that this year, as Kimberly indicated earlier, we are taking special precautions due to COVID-19. So unlike in previous years, we will ask that you drop off your applications at City Hall. We are not requiring, and I want to restate that, we are not requiring the applicants to actually drop the packets off in person. We are allowing family members or others to actually drop those packets off on your behalf so that you, if you're unable to or out of precautions do not want to come out and actually deliver those packets in person, that's not necessary. That does, however, mean that we won't have sort of the in-person help desk type of workshop that we've held in previous years. So you are, if you are applying, will be responsible for making copies of all of your documentation and maintaining whatever file that you would like to maintain of your information that you submit. When you do submit your application will be date stamped with a date and time, and that will be your number in terms of when you have actually submitted the application, because keep in mind that it is on a first completed application basis. But what that also means that If there are any questions that we have or any additional information that we require, we will give you an opportunity to, in an expedited manner, to provide us with any additional information so that you might maintain your number within the system in terms of when you submitted your application. Should you have any questions, please make sure that you contact our Transportation Assistance Program number, and we will get back with you with a response within 24 hours so that you can complete the process. So again, we thank you very much, and we're excited that you are interested in participating. For all of those out there who are return our hopeful return applicants to the program, we welcome you. And for those of you who are applying for the first time, we also extend a welcome to you as well. So thank you very much, and we hope to hear from you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.